Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 XBL review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Shadow Complex, and if you're sitting here thinking, geez, it's been a while since he's done a vid, I wonder why, then I again please beg of you and implore you to check my channel, because I have been posting updates there as to why. Basically, to cut a long story short, still not well, going through multitude of tests, yada yada, again update on the channel. So anyway, on to Shadow Complex, which I honestly do think is one of the best, if not the best, games on the Xbox Live Arcade. There are a few that tie with it, but it's definitely one of the best games that I've played in a long time, and games like this really do show why I hate the Wii, because if a cheap download can get everything I want from a game, which I will explain why I love this game so much, then I don't understand why a full disc game for the Wii can't. So anyway, you've got the campaign, you've got the leaderboards, you've got your achievements, your usual stuff. You can view the help and options, but there's very little to do in them. So on to campaign. You can go to the main adventure or the proving grounds. I will show off the proving grounds, but they're pretty boring. It's just well, I say they're pretty boring, it's not doing it justice. The whole point of the proving grounds are challenges and stuff, and some people will hate them, some people will love them, some people will just go unimpressed with them and fall out of love with them, and that's pretty much what happened with me. I just got sick of doing them. So anyway, the whole point of the game, if you've never played it before, the whole genre and everything, is I suppose basically if you've ever played the old Metroid games or anything like that, like the DS Castlevanias and the RPG Castlevanias like Symphony of the Night, because the whole point is you go all over the place and find areas that you can't access, and then you find areas that you can, and by finding the areas that you can access you get powers, and by getting those powers you can access other areas. So you can get double jump, you can get a jetpack type thing which allows you to do the jump, you can swim underwater, you can because obviously you gain the ability to breathe underwater with a mask, you can just literally do all sorts of different things. You can run at high speed to smash through rocks and boxes, you can get grenades and rockets to blow up certain obstacles that are in your way, you can just get weapons and stuff so you're able to blow up and grates, and you can get foam, which the foam's pretty cool, and it's a useful weapon as well, because it basically freezes the enemy in the tracks, and well, you can kick the crap out of it. I mean, it doesn't always freeze the enemy, some enemies can't be frozen. There's all sorts of things you can do on the game though, and it's one of those, as I say, it's one of the best games I've played in a long time, because the story's fantastic, graphically it looks good, it's got a challenge to it, and lengthwise, well, if I just find the right button here, I mean, on the main game alone, I've been playing it for 7 hours 37, I've collected all the items and everything, and so it's one of those, I suppose, it's a good thing to know, because obviously I can't spoil it for you, because I've already collected everything, so there's no way I can show where any of the hidden items are, because you can get health upgrades, you can get armor upgrades, you can get grenade upgrades to be able to carry more grenades, you can get this, that, and the bloody other. It's just absolutely fantastic. One of the other things you can get as well is, when I remember the right button first, is a hook, which actually allows you to latch onto the ceiling, and that basically allows you to go, as I say, all over the place just by hooking onto the ceiling and swinging like Spider-Man. Unfortunately, it's been a while since I've played, and trying to get back into the hang of using the hook takes a little bit of time, but as you saw there, I was able to pretty much get halfway up before I had to rely on just running for my life. So that is the whole point of the game. Then, as I say, go around collecting all the upgrades and stuff. Along your way though, not just puzzles but all sorts of enemies, and you can dispose of the enemies in a multitude of ways. You can smack them, you can shoot them, you can blow them up, you can do this, that and the bloody other with them, and there's also a bunch of weapons on the game to get as well. There's things like this at the moment, which is a bit like a shotgun. There's then also well, there's like a ER rifle, an assault rifle, there's a normal RCP style machine gun. There's just like a couple of different types of machine guns basically. There's a pistol, and then there's also the golden weapons, which you give rewards, and it's what I'm using now for basically, well, kicking the crap out of everything, getting all the enemies, like all the bosses killed and all the hidden places discovered and all the items collected. It then shows up on your radar that you can access a new area, and bam, you get the golden weapons, which are just more powerful versions of the weapons. The weapons do actually have infinite ammo, but you can reload. It's the only pretty much way to limit the weapon, I suppose, because otherwise your machine guns would just be at a total disadvantage to all the other weapons and like make the game far too easy. So yeah, there's not really much left to say about the actual main game. It's just, again, to clarify what makes the game so great, personally at least anyway. It looks great. There's some sections that really do look fantastic. Musically, it's just little tunes here and there when you've discovered things, and when there's a little bit of music when you're fighting a boss or anything, so it's nothing too gripping or anything, but it's nice ambient sounds and that, and it does go well with the game. There's the controls on the game are absolutely fantastic. It's one of those, it'll take you a little while to get used to the aiming system, because obviously you're on a 2D plane, but you can shoot in the background as well as just left and right, so it's trying to get used to how to do that. There's also a few guns lying around the place that are like proper turret guns and that you can get on, and when it does that, it changes the camera to a third-person camera, so it just controls like, well, your average first-person or third-person shooter really, with you just moving the camera and then aiming through the crosshair. There are cutscenes in the game, and they do really well for the story, and the voice acting in the game as well as the story is really good as well. So it's just basically got everything that I look for in a game: difficulty, length, story, controls, etc, etc. So I just don't understand why little piddly download games, which this cost me 560 points in a sale, so about £5, I don't know why they can do it when there's certain disc games, and hell, on every console. I won't just single out the Wii, there's some crap for them all. So basically, I think the people who've done this have really put a few devs to shame. But anyway, as I've mentioned pretty much everything about the main game, let's move on to those proving grounds. So as I say, the whole point of the proving grounds are challenges. You get timed, and you basically have to do it in a certain time to beat it, and the challenges can be all sorts of multitude of things. There's killing enemies, there's escaping, there's activating switches like this one here without dying, because I've got to quickly activate the switch to the next platform, and so on and so on and so on to get to the end of the section. And that's what I mean by some people will love it because some people love this sort of thing, and some people will absolutely detest it because it's the type of thing that can get annoying and get boring, and if it gets too hard for people, they will fall out of love with it. But it is still nice that they've included it. It's just a bit of a shame that really there's so many of them to get all the achievements, because this is pretty much the only thing stopping me getting the achievements, the fact that I am getting completely sick of doing these, because it's just, as I say, they can get a bit boring. The only thing I pretty much haven't mentioned about the proving grounds is what you've probably noticed already as well, the fact that you do get limited tech on them. So it's a case of, on this one I've got barely any health, I've got the hook shot but no grenades or anything, so you don't need them. I don't even know why it gives you a gun, to be fair. At least it gives you a torch as well, so if you're struggling to see, you can put your torch on, which again, it's technically got infinite ammo, but it will have to recharge after a while. So yeah, that's pretty much everything to say about the game, other than that, as I've already mentioned, it's very similar to the Metroids and RPG Castlevanias and stuff, so if you like that sort of game, I think you'll love this. I'd love for them to do a sequel or an expansion pack or anything, because I've just enjoyed playing it so damn much that I can't wait to get more of it. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.